It is the 6th of April 2020. Thank you. We are going to start. Others will join us as we move. The clip I just played now, I see somebody, it wasn't very clear. It was the clip on the issues that are happening globally. As you all know, that currently we are faced with a new situation happening in our lifetime. It's very interesting times where we see tariffs being adjusted, if I may say, by America, and it's becoming a global war, so to speak, where countries are now reacting to what America is doing. Today we had hoped to have one of our economists, as usual. We invite experts on this platform to come talk to us about different things so that we really avoid a lot of pseudoscience and pseudo-economics where people would just be telling us that this is as a result of this, when in actual fact, it's something else. Even right now, you'd recall at some point when COVID came, we had a lot of pseudo-scientists and experts who were telling us a lot of things, and those things have since fizzled out, and maybe the reality of what exactly we faced is the only one that remained. And even during this time, it's very important to make informed decisions and to really listen to experts, people who are in the know in terms of why have we been hit by 30% tariffs by America, whereas you have a country as small as Lesotho, which has been hit by 50%. And then other people will tell you, oh, it's as a result of President Trump hating on South Africa, when in actual fact, that's not the case right now. It's just the adjustments that America made, based on, the trade deficits and all the related stuff in terms of import and exports. So, and then do you therefore think that a country like Lesotho or other countries which have been hit more by these tariffs are hated upon? That's not the case. I think it's something that we're going to deal with in the next coming sessions of Amandla Umnoto. So, but we decided therefore to make this day rather a special one for our BRICS partners. As you know, that as Amandla Umnoto, we signed a memorandum a year or so ago with BRICS, and I'm very happy that, as I reported to many of you, and some of you were able to attend the summit, that we had the blast of a summit, beautiful summit, notwithstanding the challenges it faced, and in which I really appreciated seeing the work that our partners are doing, and we are doing as part of BRICS ourselves. But kudos mainly to the leaders of BRICS WBA who are here today, who are going to be sharing with us very much amazing things that we believe you need to hear. But I must say as well, thank you to all of you and those that were able to attend our Amandla Umnoto inaugural golf challenge. And I'm glad that my friends and brothers from the States, Upakatwayo, as well as that is with brother Joe Davis, who unfortunately was attacked by the flu on the second day. But thank him that I think is here together with brother Charles Johnson. Thank you so much, brother Charles. And I'm happy that I was really worried about the flu that Pakatwayo you caught just before you left for the state, and all our other brothers and sisters who really attended that golf session, and to Pink in particular, who did amazing work in organizing that golf session for all of us. And here we are, we were able to have the winner, and everybody else played golf. I did a little bit, but I got a little bit shaky seeing the experts really doing their things. And I said, no, I still need to polish up my skills before I get disappointed. So it was amazing, and thank you so much, colleagues. I don't want to bore you with a lot of things, but there's so many things that are happening. We've done our masterclass on turmeric, and right now people are busy preparing to plant. And we signed, by the way, that CASNET International Chamber of Commerce, partnership MOU. We're very excited. There are a lot of things that we're going to explore. And our friends from Dubai, because of the visa, I was talking to them this afternoon, really have got loads of money that they want to come and pour into our country, especially to all the entrepreneurs. Now, 2 hours ago, with some of the partners who are in Dubai, as well as some of our Emiratis who are there, we're going to arrange to actually let them come here, as well as go there to visit them, as we have already started. There's a lot that's happening. I think stay tuned and really be encouraged that even that agreement we signed with CASNET is going to be actioned, because we believe, as we always say, there are 3 things that must happen from now going forward. It's the number 1, implementation, and number 2 is implementation, and number 3 is implementation. And that's what we're about. And that's why we are serious about economic activity practically on the ground in the districts and local municipalities, working as entrepreneurs across the length and breadth of our country, our region. We are implementing great projects in Eswatini, which I'm so excited that this year, financial year, as we have started, we're already rolling out some serious project on fuel and biodiesel. And we're rolling out the project of manufacturing of shoes, obviously taking on the template of our shoe factory in KwaZulu-Natal, in Stenga, which is already pumping 1,000 shoes a day. And that's what we're doing. And we want you to be serious about this. And we are going to be reorganizing ourselves anew. And our IT team is busy working on the background work in terms of making sure that all of you are aligned and are part of this great ecosystem we've built over years. But this time, we're even emphasizing on it in terms of implementation. I've got my seniors here and my friends and my colleagues who requested, and my chairman, Ms. Lebogang Zulu, together with Raquel Loganberg. I'm going to hand over to them. You saw the voice note, you saw the video I made, and you saw the attachments I forwarded to all of you yesterday night to say we are going to give BRICS WP a leadership a chance to give us, what is coming, which we thought it's very important to be shared on this platform, particularly for women entrepreneurs who may want to take this opportunity and really embrace it and be part of what is coming within the BRICS framework. It's such a pleasure that, the power deck pitch that was happening in Durban, I saw amazing things the leadership of BRICS have done in terms of making sure that those entrepreneurs were funded on the spot, quite a number of them, and so much money that was raised. But I'm going to leave all of that to our colleagues who are probably going to want to reflect on the summit and then take us through what they have for us this particular year and in this session. So Mageba, I'm going to obviously hand over to you, or should I say Raquel first, and then Raquel then hand over to Mageba. I would like for you, Raquel, to speak. Don't be in the background this time. Thank you so much. We are recording this session, obviously, so that those that will come later on our Zoom, on our YouTube channel, they can be able to sort of watch and see what exactly went down today. Over to you, Raquel, as you introduced Mageba.
Good afternoon, Gugu and team, and to all the stakeholders and partners on this call. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing us to join your meeting. My name is Raquel Loganberg. I am a board member for BRICS WBA, as well as the head of the Trade and Investment Working Group. Online, I have with me our chairperson, Mslebogang Zulu, as well as Eleni Kwinana, who is another board member. I will leave the summarizing of the summit to our chair, but I'd like to say that our task is very simple. In the sense is that our mandate is to go out there and to create opportunities for women, to remove the traditional corridors that have created barriers from us doing business. The BRICS Women Business Alliance is not a West wing of feminist grouping. We are an independent corporate economic structure reporting to the heads of state. We are a business alliance. We speak economy, we speak growth, we speak strategy, we speak women advancement. The 4 pillars within the BRICS WBA speak to trade, investment, tech transfer, and capacity building. And apart from these 4, we don't speak anything else. We are very pleased to meet with you guys. And I do know that some of you who were at the summit this past Thursday, the 27th to 29th of March. And we thank you for your support and look forward to your ongoing support. I'm going to hand over to our chairperson to do an introduction of herself. She is Mslebogang Zulu, the national chairperson for BRICS WBA South African chapter. She's also the vice president of the India South Africa Chamber of Commerce, amongst various other hats. We are extremely pleased and honored to serve under such a visionary leader. Every single day you get up and you're working for a non-profit organization and you ask yourself, what motivates me? What drives me? And when you work side by side with a leader like Ms. Zulu, you are just empowered, you are inspired, you are motivated to say, we want to make a lasting impact. We want to leave our women empowered. We want to introduce them internationally to the markets to help them grow their businesses in the different sectors. Over to you, Chair. I'm not too sure if Ms. Eleni Kwinana wanted to say something first.
Not at all. Let's hand over to our leader, and thank you very much to everybody on the call, and thank you, Mr. Xaba, for allowing us to join.
Thank you, Ms. Lochenberg and Mekwinana Nonkosi. It is an absolute pleasure to connect with the community of Amandla Omnoto. I'm happy our brothers in the US are here. In fact, interesting enough, in a call we had with Mr. Johnson yesterday, he said something so profound that was said by God himself, that no Superman is coming to save us, so we ought to save ourselves. And that couldn't be further from the truth, colleagues. So thank you again for this opportunity. They said it could not be done, but we did it. They said you've been too ambitious to think you can secure deals for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, equating to the combination of trade, investment, capacity building, and tech transfer, equating to $500 million. They said it's an impossible target, but we did it. We're just a little bit short, $499.77 million worth of deals that were signed at this very summit. They tried to sabotage and make it impossible for us to execute, but God did show up. So for those of you that did attend, ours was to say to you, ordinary people like me and you, who are participating in the corridors, just as 5%. Are very possible for us to connect with big players outside South Africa. So we brought investors from mainly from India. It was India, Russia, and UAE, and these are investment houses. These are people that say, who are you? A micro business, you want to secure business. What have you secured? You've got an offtake, great. What are you looking for? I'm looking for investment to either A, set up my own manufacturing capability, or I need investment for B or C or D. You put forward a compelling case and they commit on the spot. Ours was to practicalize conversations to move beyond the rhetorics of economic development, you know, through what we are defined as the engine of growth. But it is only beautiful in paper and difficult in practical terms. So we've proved to ourselves, supported, of course, by the BRICS Chamber of Commerce. We've signed a cooperation partnership with them for the next 5 years. We are hoping to sign with CASNET International as well. We had colleagues from Oman, who right now, as I speak to you, colleagues, Zimbabwe is sitting with an offtake from Oman, an offtake to buy, I think, about 3 million goats a year for the next 3 years. Of course, it's too big in order for just Zimbabwe. South Africa will share, you know, will share in the supply with Zimbabwe. But then again, it is Jovotech. It's a woman-owned company that secured that looks very much like me and you. Yeah, so the net result of summarizing what the summit was all about and what we managed to achieve was is to say to all of us, it remains impossible until it is done. So we here again. And us being here again, we spoke about the summit with your colleagues a couple of weeks before the summit was executed. And I'm sure some of you may also have been doubting and saying, oh my God, is it possible? But now we're here again to say we've done it. And here's another opportunity. Last year, under Russia's presidency, across member states, we launched what we call the BRICS Women Startup Contest. Again, where you say the engine of growth is sitting in the hands of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Many of our women are operating in economy corridors, especially South Africa, Brazil, and India. We're operating as largely as startups. You know, we're part of many companies, but when you collate all of them, they're all just basic startups. Some are even just shelf companies, really. You've registered the company, you've got the phone number. But then what? Nothing else. I do speak my mind, of course.
Sorry, my dear, but there was a mishap. Just go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was being out of order.
Not at all.
But see, so the long and the short of it, colleagues, is we're coming back to you again. And we are coming to say to you that we launched in Russia last year as a BRICS Women Startup Contest is in its second year. There were winners last year under Russia's presidency. However, much like anything you start, you know, people got the global exposure, you know, but the continuity is what we lacked. So this year under Brazil's presidency, Brazil has done absolutely amazing. They've brought Sebrae as a partner to the contest itself. So Sebrae has done a couple of things. Number one, it has said that we work with micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. They've evaluated, you know, apples are competing with apples and bananas are competing with bananas. But colleagues, I will tell you right now with absolute certainty, even as of last year, the quality of submissions across all member states, including South Africa, were absolutely amazing. Women have innovations out there. Women have businesses that are just needing that one extra thing to move forward. So Sebrae says, okay, so because we work with banks in Brazil, we will throw in one extra. The winners will be funded. We're going to pick top 18 winners from across all member states, which means if South Africa, we go in and submit as, 10 companies, we're competing with other countries, and they could very well be putting in something much more solid than ourselves. So we have to go in numbers. It's a sales game, really. You throw in 5. If you're hoping to get 1, you go in with 100. You know that at least one of mine will win. So while we are part of the jury panel that selects the winners, unfortunately, it is not about a clear category that there has to be X number of winners from South Africa, X number of winners from this country or that country. No, the rules are very clear. It is scalability. It is innovation, it is the state of the business model that is being presented today is to say, here's another chance for you to secure investment partnerships with your suppliers of the world. Here's an opportunity for you to get your products and your solutions into the Brazilian market. Here's an opportunity for you to be seen in the global stage by BRICS countries, by BRICS businesses, that could very well be lending you that extra hand that you need to take your business to the next level. It is our collective wish. I'm sure Castnet, my colleagues are from Castnet, I'm sure Nonkosi himself, we all would agree that we are working towards a point where when we look at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange 10 years from now, we need to see 100% African owned and or 100% women owned and or a combination of that, but it's going to be something African listed. Where we look into the New York Stock Exchange, we'd like to see some of the South Africans listed in those stock exchanges across the world. It starts with the journey. They say a journey begins with a single step. So these are the single steps that we are busy taking. You've done your own. We're coming forward and we're saying to you, here is another chance, the 2025 BRICS Women Startup Contest. If you missed the summit, there will be another one next year for sure. But here's a contest now for Brazil. And of course, if you win, you get funded. I'm sure Nonkosi has shared all the detail. But take a leap of faith and understand the challenges you've experienced in domestic markets may not necessarily be the challenges you would experience in international spaces. B, understand that while Nonkosi played a beautiful clip earlier on before the meeting started, that gave us perspective about all that's happening in the global corridors, the different kinds of noises that are being made. Understand while there's noise, they say in the midst of chaos, there are opportunities. We sit here right now, having been approached by a big fish that we've been hunting for a very long time that eventually has come to us now in the form of Euro Exim Bank. I'm sure even if they're listening, they'd say, you're calling us a big fish. And I'll be like, of course I'm calling you a big fish because I've been trying to hunt you for the longest time. And you were telling me BRICS this, BRICS that. But today they come back to us because, again, the shift in the global power architecture has caused all sorts of different kinds of reactions from different corners of the world. But that as may be, it presents different kinds of opportunities. We need to be awake enough ourselves as a business community to see these opportunities and understand that there is no Superman for sure. If I borrow from Bobby for a second, there is no Superman that's going to come and rescue us, meaning there's no Superman that's going to come and say, there's your business, you're suddenly getting $100 million, grow, what is your vision? The money comes and then you speak about your vision. No, that's not going to happen. We can look to DFIs. We've been looking to DFIs. They've taken us as far as they could for those that could be taken. But many of us have not been taken. So here's a chance for us to look outward, to find the right kind of partners, call them Supermans if you like, but the right kind of partners to take us to the next level. Because when you grow to the next level, you are A, contributing to the taxes of the country, and B, you are contributing to creation of the sustainable jobs. No business can create a sustainable job if it does not have sustainable revenue streams. So ours is to come support you and say, look, while we are here as an alliance, you would appreciate that we are a nonprofit organization. So while we would love to sit with absolutely everybody to help them to package their submission for the contest, we are restricted because, it's not like we're getting any funding from anybody. So we will be assisting all our bronze members plus, in terms of packaging. So they put forward compelling submissions. We want to see South African streaks in every in every economic sector where we will be competing. Raquel will take us through, the specific economic sectors. I think there's healthcare, there's food security, there's quite a couple of them, but Raquel will take us through that. But we are here, we are saying, look, if you can invest a 500 Rand as an example and take yourself out for lunch, surely you can invest a 500 Rand and say, I'm going to become a member of BRICS so I can support the work that they're doing, so I can also learn and be provided an opportunity to be helped to package my business so I stand a better chance of competing in these global stages. Nonkosi, if I may please just hand it over back to Raquel for the details, and I do wish for us to open the room a little bit for questions and engagements to happen, if you do not mind.
That's perfect, Mokeba. Over to you, Raquel.
Thank you very much, Chair. So the submissions are currently open. The closing date or the deadline for the submissions is the 4th of May. The winners will be announced sometime in June. And then the actual forum takes place from the 1st to the 4th of July, with the award ceremony being on the 5th to the 7th of July. The categories in which you would then apply would be your healthcare and well-being, agriculture and food security, education and skills development, energy, infrastructure and mobility, commerce, service and digital transformation, sustainable development and climate solutions. So Chair had also mentioned that you have different stages of startups. So whether you're an early stage, whether you're growth, or whether you want to scale up, you are able to then qualify and submit your entries through to the BRICS WBA. Anybody can apply, whether you are a South African, whether you've got permanent residence, if you're a founder or a co-founder of the organization, of those sectors that I've advised, you're then able to qualify. The criteria, which is all in the same documents or leaflet that Nonkosi had shared, is innovation 20%, positive impact 20%, scalability in BRICS markets 15%, commercial viability 15%, partnerships and networks 10%, technical capability 10%, processes, intellectual property and operations 5%, and presentation quality 5%. If there's anything that I've omitted or that you guys would like to query, I'm more than happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And if I may just say, so at the summit, we walked in and found one of our entrepreneurs on stage with investors reflecting on their pitch. And of course, we could hear that the investors were going, a different kind of direction. They were suggesting that the entrepreneur should rather be looking for market expansion funding rather than the actual problem that they sought to fix, which was, we've got the IP, this is our solution. However, we're relying on a third party to produce those sanitary pads for us. So while we had an opportunity to physically intervene, to sway the investors to look at the investment from a different perspective, with these kinds of contests, we won't have an opportunity to do that for yourselves. So while it is easy to go into, the global platform, BRICS, www.bricswomen.com, and apply directly yourselves and deprive us of an opportunity to influence, to look at your submission, give you feedback, guide you insofar as strengthening your submission. By giving us that opportunity, you're giving us an opportunity to intervene and influence and guide and support you, rather than throwing you in the lion's den or in a pond and say, find a way around that. If you win, great. If you don't, tough. We do not, we created specifically, which will also be coming out, I think, by sometime this tomorrow morning, a master class that we will take all those that are keen to submit on this session. We're going to take them through a master class insofar as the state preparedness to put forward. What are the key things that we've got the evaluation criteria, that's fine, but how you package your business, it's less English and more business, I've got to just say. So yeah, I think let's open the floor for comments, questions, and and clarifications where they are sought. But thank you so much again for giving us the opportunity. And we are hoping that you will see an opportunity to go hunt or showcase yourselves to the investors in Brazil, again, to mentors in Brazil, to other businesses in Brazil that could very well be your own market that you've been looking for. I'm going to pause at this point, Nonkosi, if we may open it up for questions and comments, please.
Sorry, one
Thank
more
you.
thing. Sorry, Nonkosi. One
Go
more
ahead.
thing I forgot to mention is that should you be selected as a finalist, it's a fully paid for trip. So it's a fully sponsored trip from South Africa to Brazil, including your flights and accommodation, as well as network opportunities within Brazil. We are open for questions and any membership questions as well. Thank you, Nonkosi.
It can't get any better than that. Thank you so much, Makeba and Raquel. This is fantastic. I think obviously on our chat box, there may be people asking certain questions there. But I think what I would like for you, Makeba, maybe to emphasize on the membership, because I think what you want to do as in masterclass, it's very important to help people to be prepared. You spoke about a certain amount, Makeba. How do people become members and to be assisted as well?
Thank you, Nonkosi. So there's different levels of memberships. There's that member, that company that says, well, I want to learn more about BRICS, so I can find my way within BRICS. We call that a basic category. Those will go through master classes on BRICS, doing business with BRICS in BRICS countries. Then you will have your second level, which is your bronze membership. That I think it's 2,500 a month. Raquel will correct me, but that says Masterclass Plus. So the preparation for this contest itself, the participation in working groups, the preparation for the BRICS Power Summit next year, where you still do pitches across various sectors. It won't just be agriculture and food security, but it'll be across different sectors. So there will be bronze. And I think the next layer is gold. Gold is all the above plus. Plus meaning you get a chance. It's 10,000 Rand a month. I think you get a chance to not only join us in these missions when we go to all the BRICS countries. The next 3 weeks. No, not 3 weeks, 6 weeks, I think, we'll be off to Russia. And when we say we're off to Russia, we simply mean that it's not only about participating at the Women Entrepreneurship Forum, but it is about the B2B meetings and B2G meetings that get to be scheduled for you. It's a matchmaking exercise. So we see it more of as an opportunity for us to go and secure more partners, secure deals for ourselves. But those that are gold members will then join us, in that mission. They'll get to participate in the working group meetings. And of course, I think then there's corporate membership. That's about 50K a month. That does not only speak to your medium-sized business or your corporate, it also speaks to the municipalities, because the 3 components of businesses or of business that we look at as BRICS WBA. It is not only B2B, it's B2B, B2G, and G2G. Because when you look at the South Africa's economic configuration, you've got 20% that is government participation, 75% multinationals, and 5% native business community. That is ourselves. So the whole point here is, when you look at Russia, for instance, it's 50 to 60% government. So when we say B2G, we mean you could sit with a state-owned business in Russia and discuss a transaction that would speak to your business itself. Raquel, I'm not sure if you want to amplify on the different categories. Brother Joseph Rakwave, it is him that said Superman isn't coming. I'm looking at the chat box. Superman is certainly not coming for us, colleagues, for sure. We've got to be our own Superman at this point and find each other in the different corners of the world. So thank you for that reminder, Mr. Johnson, and Kwabe, thank you for such important words that we've got to remember all the time. Superman is certainly not coming for us. We got to become the Supermans ourselves. Raquel, not sure if you want to amplify on the memberships. Of course, you
Okay.
send an email to memberships@bricswpa-sa.org.za, and of course the team will send you all the necessary details, the membership policy and application form, also the website is being updated. So those that do not like filling in forms manually, happy to apply also, put in your application digitally on our website. That should be up and running by midday tomorrow.
No, thank you, Chair. I think you've covered all 4 of the membership categories correctly: basic, bronze, gold, and corporate. And with the exact values, you've given 500 for the basic, 2,500 for the bronze, 10,000 per month for the gold, and 50,000 for the corporate. And one key factor is that if you pay monthly, you pay these fees. However, should you pay annually, you will have a 2-month discount from the BRICS WBA. And just to repeat the email address again, it's membership@bricswpa-sa.org.za. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Nonkosi.
Thank you, ma'am. And Nonkosi, there's Usili Ngema on the chat box that has asked for a criteria. Again, we are happy to reply to her if she drops us an email. We are happy to reply to her with that. But when you go into the global platform of BRICS Women Business Alliance, www.bricswomen.com, the details of the contest are there. And of course, the criteria, the evaluation criteria that's there, the sectors that we are focusing on for 2025. It is an annual activity. We will do it again next year. It's an activity that we've adopted across all member states. So the hosting country that's hosting presidency at the time will then lead the charge of execution. So this year it is certainly Brazil.
Thank you so much, Magdalena. That's good. Raquel, if you can just write that email there on the chat box, it's gonna help a great deal.
I'm sorry, Nonkosi, I have to respond to Mahlongwa. Mahlongwa says, are these opportunities open to the youth category or even the older women? And the answer, Mahlongwa, is an absolute yes. I wasn't sure where I fall in, probably the older woman side, certainly not the youth category, but yes. And again, women owned by South Africa's definition is 31% ownership. So we're not closing the brothers off. There is no aspect that says 100% women owned, just so all colleagues know.
That's very good. Thank you so much. Colleagues, if anyone has got a question, you want to raise your electronic hand, you're most welcome. If you want to speak as well, other than writing. I know there are people who would like to say something here. Whilst Raquel is writing that email, right. So thanks so much, Eleni, for that email. Hey, you were such an amazing ceremonies. I saw a talent that I never saw there.
Yeah,
Miss Quinana. Right.
Thank
So
you.
anyone with a question, colleagues, this is your Tandi. Hi, Tandi. Okay, or it was just your fingers doing the stuff there. But Charles, whilst we are waiting for anybody who wants to ask a question, would you like to say something on the pitching that was happening? You were very active here. I liked what you contributed during that session. I think it was so important as you were part of the panel, right?
Yes, thank you so much, brother. I do appreciate it, and thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to be a part of this. And thank you for having me just be a part of this. And I'm more enthusiastic knowing that there's such a large and knowledgeable group of individuals that are partaking in what is truly something I would consider to be a journey forward in the right direction. As Brother Davis and I talked about earlier, and I always remind everyone that, the words that he educated me on is that Superman is not coming to save us. And I repeat that, and I told him I'm taking that to my grave because it takes this group and groups like this in order to move us in the right direction. And what I discovered in my time at the event, which was absolutely phenomenal for me, just to learn and understand the brilliance of what is oftentimes ignored in the world that entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, and individuals who are oftentimes just shunned or marginalized do not get a chance to explore and to be able to present. And what I saw was that level of brilliance. But these are individuals who are focused so strictly into their space of knowledge and their category and their products that it does take a little bit more effort on our side to help them understand the business dynamics that are oftentimes ignored. And in the midst of all of this, I saw companies that had not only just, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of revenue capability, but I'm talking millions and billions of dollars of capability if they understood the magnitude and impact of the industries that they would be entering into. I had the privilege of talking to at least one or two of the companies since my arrival. And after having those conversations, I think it opened up their eyes as to how far reaching what they produced, how far reaching their product would be, and how impactful it would be for job creation, community economics, social dynamics in economics, market industries, changing the dynamics of what the global presence of South Africa would be at a grassroots level. And let's not forget, grassroots is where the struggle is. Everyone is paying so much attention with government and major businesses. They fail to understand that all these major businesses were once small businesses, and that these individuals who are presenting information and had presented information, like the young ladies with the sanitary napkins, I do not believe anyone could understand the depth and dynamics of what they were producing. We're talking about the possibilities of building manufacturing facilities right within South Africa that could employ thousands, tens of thousands of people, because the orders would be that massive. And it's just a matter that I I repeat one of the things that I stated on the stage. It is best not to chase after investors, but when you have a great concept, a great idea, a great platform, they will come to you. They just need to know you're out there. And that is where we come in. That is where we want to start promoting, helping that level of visibility occur because they're looking to invest money more so now than ever before because of the instability of the markets. And knowing that there's an opportunity right now that these brilliant minds have created something that can change the dynamics of so many lives, those investors want to be a part of that. I also shared that the US is a consumer's market. We buy more than we make. And so, where you have so many groups such as Mexico, China, and Canada, and so many other products that we buying them because we're not making them. Why not have Africa be a part of that producer network and not be the consumer? And so, by exploiting a little bit more about what the American consumer market can provide, and we open up the gateway, even at a grassroots level, to get some of these businesses on the forefront, making them visible, creating that network for them to be able to not only just capitalize on this consumer marketplace, but to do the things that major corporations are unable to do. And what that means is providing jobs. providing an economic floor for so many underserved communities. This is not just about the business itself. This is bigger than all of us. It's actually something, whereas right now, I'd love to be able to look at, your children and your children's children and your children's children's children, and just look at the legacy that our ancestors put out there before us and say that now we are the dream of our ancestors. So let's just become, flamboyant enough to be able to push the envelope so that the dreams that we're having right now, our descendants are going to be looking back and seeing and say, I'm glad you planted the seed when you did, because now we're going to see the Wakanda that we oftentimes see in the movies. It's a reality. And the probabilities of us getting there started with a lot of those discussions, with great ideas, great innovation. And, I could go on, forever on that. So I'm going to kind of step down off my soapbox for a minute. But to just kind of lay the framework out that what I saw and what I took away was nothing shy of astounding. I'm floored by what I've seen, and I've had the privilege of seeing a lot of creations and a lot of innovations here in the States and in other countries. But to have so little to work with and to do so much with so little, that is what I saw in the eyes of those individuals. I saw it. And necessity is the mother of invention. They did something that most of us could not have done in the States because we've had so many resources available to us. So I'm very, not only just proud of what I saw and who I had the privilege of speaking with, I have now gone beyond just having associates and associations. Now I'm looking at friends and colleagues and family. So I thank you, my brother Gugulethu. I thank you, Chairman. I thank all of you who are on this call for giving me the privilege of being able to be a part of this astounding journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Charles. Truly appreciate your kind words, and your being there was such a great value to us as well. Makeba, I see you responding in Raquel. Please say anything you want to say, something. This is your platform.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, thank you, Nonkosi, again, and thanks to Brother Charles. Again, for me, it is to remind all of us that is a multinational business today was not born a multinational. They started some in the garages of their own homes, some in some little corner somewhere, and they struggled and they worked their way to becoming where they are today. So we must never look at ourselves as maybe kill the narrative that we are defined as micro businesses or small businesses or medium-sized businesses. We need to start seeing ourselves as economic players, number one. Number two, we need to look at what product are we offering to the market. Is there a need? And if there's a need, we must go full on and believe that we can actually take a Gentishi sanitary pad and get it into the shelf of stores in New York. We keep speaking about Gentishi. Of course, you would appreciate it's a product by women for women. So it's quite a big deal for us, and we're happy to support their growth path. But many of you have invented different kinds of technologies or solutions. Somebody has invented technology to help us extract water from the ground that could speak to farmers, as an example. But the world doesn't know that. The world does not know what we are doing as South Africa. I think what I would also share with the colleagues is we've got a brilliant research institution in this country, CSIR. They've worked extensively in and invested quite a bit of resources in developing, research, innovations. Where there's a gap is in commercializing some of those solutions. And this is where you come in, because there's absolutely nothing stopping anybody from approaching CSIR and saying, look, you've got that solution. I've got access. I'm a member of BRICS Women Business Alliance that gives me access to at least 20 countries plus, friends of BRICS as an example, outside members member states, we would like to work with you in taking that particular research work and commercializing it. I mean, these are opportunities that are there, but because we do not know that these opportunities are there, we don't approach your CSIR. So I'm encouraging us colleagues to say we don't necessarily all have to be inventors. Somebody has done the work of inventing, somebody has done the work of researching to a point of proving, to a point of proof of concept. However, they do not have the know-how in terms of commercializing that. Let's go out there, let us look at who has what, and collaborate with people and put in your bet and take it forward. It's all very possible. I think, the key message that I'd like to leave everybody with, Nonkosi, today is put God first, then believe. Believe what you have, market needs. And of course, open yourself up to allowing others the space to come and support you, to come and help you in your growth path. We certainly cannot do it by ourselves. We need to work as a collective. That'll be my key message. Thank you so much, Nonkosi.
Thank you so much, Mageba. Those were beautiful words. We really want to appreciate BRICS WBA under your great leadership for offering these opportunities to all our members, our fellow South Africans. I know we've got Zimbabweans here and a few brothers from Ethiopia. They always call on the side, where are we in this? But I think maybe, Mageba, just to assure some of them from Eswatini, they are here, so that at least, even though this may be for South Africa, but BRICS has got tentacles all across the continent, perhaps just to say something on that, because I know they will be asking questions around that.
Absolutely, and thank you for that, Nonkosi. Again, we did say while Russia opened the contest up to even regional offices, but Brazil unfortunately closed it up to only member states. However, even having said that, they are well within their rights, to implement the contest in the way they see fit. However, let's also just remember part of the collaboration, which is the reason why we went to the heads of states in 2023 and requested them to allow us to establish regional offices. Of course, we pushed that forward in South Africa because we were thinking the S in BRICS is representing Africa. So how do we create an avenue that becomes an official a channel with which we can actually work with Africa? And they did endorse, so we have regional offices. So in the case of, the Brazilian execution of the contest itself, and understanding is restricted to member states only. There is absolutely nothing stopping a Malawian that has a brilliant solution from cooperating with a South African and pushing it forward under brand South Africa. That's what cooperation is all about. It's about the best way of taking a conversation forward or taking an opportunity forward. I'm going to use, the example of the Euro Exim Bank. I mean, we approached them, we started engaging, then they were BRICS this, BRICS that. This is a trade enabler. This is, an institution that says to you, you have secured a deal to supply sugar, buy sugar from Brazil, supply the sugar to another market elsewhere. However, the guarantees, you do not have the muscle for the guarantee. So they issue, the collateral that's required to enable that trade to happen. So while they were saying BRICS this, BRICS that, and of course we cleared the narrative for them in that conversation and said to them, be business about this thing. They've since come back and we said, look, if you want to work with us, you're not BRICS, you Euro. So we will put scats on you. We want to work with you because your solution, our members and our populations need. So we are now finding each other, despite all the chaos that's happening, of course, in the global corridors, but we are finding each other insofar as saying, yes, what they have, we need, what we have, they need. So the two worlds are now merging and meeting each other to enable you that are in the trade spaces to be able to have that level of security that you ordinarily cannot enter into an international trade because you don't have this or you don't have that. So I'm just, saying to our brothers, they must, brothers and sisters from outside South Africa, they must not shy away from partnering with South Africans in taking advantage of this particular opportunity. Insofar as membership, of course, we welcome members from Africa. The whole point of regional offices is exactly that we want to start trading as a bloc, as a continent, within these BRICS corridors. Of course, it'll be a trade that's favorable for South Africa, that's favorable for each of your countries, and I mean, joining ourselves in Brazil during all these sessions, whether you participated in the contest or not, we always issue opportunities for people to join the chairperson's delegation in attending these missions in these countries to pursue different opportunities. Again, come forward when we know, we go through each of our members, we study them, we want to understand, sit with them, we want to understand what they, what are they pushing for, what are they looking for, so that whether we are with them or not, we are representing their interests out there. We know that we've got X that is in the sugar space and Y that is in the oil space, but they're looking for this, they're looking for that. That's the whole point of organizing ourselves and creating that membership structure so we can start understanding what our members are chasing. So I hope our African brothers and sisters on this call, are feeling comforted to say we can even still participate in the contest itself. We can still become members of BRICS Women Business Alliance, even if we don't have a regional office in Malawi yet. I must just say yet. It's coming. It is absolutely coming.
May I please add, Chair, with your permission and your permission, Baba?
Absolutely, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Just to add that my sole role, well, not my sole role, I'll get into trouble with my chairperson, but my primary role within the BRICS WBA SA office is to chair the Africa desk. And what that means is, number one, I'm responsible for establishing regional office in every single non-member state on the continent. However, should I have not reached your country yet, you are more than welcome to reach out to myself. Just replace membership with Eleni, E-L-E-N-I. I'll type it in the chat, and I can then support you in that partnership between South Africa as a member state and your country, and take you through whichever initiative that we're running at the time, and also assist you with the membership that you would then come in and join until your regional office is standing. You may also then inquire if your regional office is in place. I can then steer you towards the chairperson that I work with in your country to then establish your membership there. So please, nobody's left behind. As has been said multiple times, Superman is not coming to save us. We are here to save ourselves and each other. Thank you so much.
Chair, if I may just come in also and give my closing remarks, Nonkosi.
Yes.
So our request is clear as BRICS WBA. We are saying help us to continue to do the work we have done. We fully understand within the agriculture space when we resource females, we are giving the opportunity to grow by 20 to 30% in the yields. We understood fully the assignment to go out there to create opportunities in the BRICS Plus member states and corridors for investments, opportunities for our entrepreneurs. Currently in South Africa, we are sitting with a debt to GDP ratio of 75%. 17 million of our people are on a SASSA grant in an economy or a population of 60 million. Every single one of our BRICS state members, we have a deficit trade. So we fully understand that it is only us who can help each other. So through the BRICS WBA membership program, you will then resource us and help us to get to our next stage, because we strongly believe that Africa will rise when her women rise. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Africa is ready to rise, but its women must rise for Africa to rise. Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much, Raquel. Those were very beautiful words. And to our chair of the Africa desk. Right. Thank you, Makeba. I think that was a mouthful. And again, we've shared the pamphlets and everything else that has been shared with us. This is going to be saved on our Amandla Umnotho TV YouTube channel, where we upload all our talks so that people can follow through. There's a lot of them, obviously, we've got network issues who couldn't join, and others who may have been busy, obviously. Just announcements. We are obviously off to Nigeria this month. Makeba, we've got a plan for the entire African continent. We are off to Nigeria. In September, we'll be launching Amandla Umnotho there, but this time around is mainly for our turmeric masterclasses together with our Ugandan counterparts are in Zimbabwe as we speak. They arrived yesterday. So we are going there. But importantly, this is always the issue that I raise all the time, to say such multilateral structure like BRICS on the 100-foot level must always come down to the 10-foot level. And that's where we are at as Amandla Umnotho, to connect you to such an amazing platform and really to be able to access these opportunities that otherwise you would not have been able to, without being part of this ecosystem that has been created here. So we want to thank BRICS leadership that is with us here, because they're exactly doing that which we've been preaching all this time. And we are going to be going down on our Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, provinces, districts, and locals. We're working with His Majesty's organization, which includes all of Amakosi, to make sure that we literally take advantage of our rural spaces and package our programs there and drive entrepreneurship in real terms where we live. Thank you so much to all of you. I know by this time I should be saying you are going to meet me on radio. I've since retired and resigned from all our radio platforms. It was a decision made not by Ukhozi, but by myself after 9 years of serving there. And then there's other opportunities that one is pursuing. But importantly, we are now bolstering Amandla Umnotho and Royal Chamber of Commerce and Industry together with Operation Buyelekaya all across the country in many parts of our provinces. So thank you so much. May you all have a good week ahead, and let's meet here, and then we'll keep giving you announcements on all our platform as we normally do. Thank you. Good evening.